Okay, so now we're at the point of we have stitched in our placket. Now, if we are choosing to do the snaps as I am, then this is how you would want to do it. Otherwise, follow the directions for the zippers. Some zippers, such as invisible zippers, will have directions on the zipper package itself, so you would follow those. Otherwise, go ahead and follow the directions for the zipper in the pattern itself. So you will first stitch on piece 20, which I'll go ahead and unpin it so you can see what it would look like before you pin it. You want to go ahead, now it calls just to press your 1/4 inch and then flip this over. However, because my fabric does fray a lot, I went ahead and stitched it just so that I don't have to worry about it fraying later. So you do go ahead and stitch in this piece in your seam, your left side seam, and so you will be using a 5/8 seam allowance in there. Then you will trim it and press it and fold it all the way over so that that is now your even seam here. I'm just going to show you real quickly. Make sure that before you do your hand stitching that you press it to make sure that you have a very crisp look. There's a couple things to remember when doing your hand stitching. Don't forget that you want to make it as invisible to the right side of the skirt as possible. So you'll go ahead and flip this over. So now this is completely encompassing this seam. This is where you're going to put one part of your snaps. Then your other side, piece 21, you would have again pressed under your 1/4 inch, and again I did stitch it. You stitch the tops so that then you can flip them. Now, if you don't have a turning tool or you want to be very careful and not use scissors, as I often do, because you can poke through your fabric, wooden chopsticks work great. Just as a little thing there, you never want to get rid of them. You get them from ordering your Chinese food. Hold on to a set of them because they will come in handy for all kinds of sewing. So what you then want to do is go ahead and snip down at a little lower on your seam so that you can then work with this to fold in. I like to snip it a little lower than I actually want it, just so that I can play with it a bit. I'd rather have it a little lower and snip it twice than snip it and go too far through my seam there. And again, you're just going to match this up with the stitch line you did. You will stitch this again down by hand, and you do want to go ahead and iron it. Ironing is very important. It helps make everything lay flat and look professional. Gives you that look of handmade versus homemade. And again, that's the look that we are after. So once I show you this real quickly, I will be going over to my iron and making it look nice and lovely. So again, you'll just go ahead and flip this, and this will be your inside. So you will have one part of your snaps here, the other part here, and they will close as such. So if you'll notice on your seam, you're going to want to then stitch these together as well down at the bottom so that they lay flat and don't come open too far. And again, that's something you want to do so that it doesn't show through. And if you're unsure about a snaps right through here as you're opening, you can go ahead and put a hook and bar right here, and they won't be seen. In fact, that's what I'll be doing. This is also the time that you'll want to take some ribbon loops and stitch little hand stitch at your side seam and on your back of your skirt at your side seam so that you can hang your skirt, so that you can let it go ahead and fall. You do not want to put in your hem yet. I know it's very tempting once you get those snaps in to just do your hem and be done with your skirt and you're done with your project. However, if you do that, your skirt hem won't be even. You do need to let your skirt hang for a minimum of 24 hours before you start doing your hem. So I'm not even going to discuss how to do your hem yet. We're going to let it hang and then we will see you then.